let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move. I'm Paul Sweeney alongside Norah Mulinda, and we're joined by Glen Losev, Senior Healthcare Analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence. Glen, what is Centene and what's the news today? Let's start there.
Okay, so Centene is a health insurer focusing mainly on Medicaid and health insurance marketplace. The reason this stock is down is the company withdrew 2025 guidance, highlighting higher acuity and slower membership growth in its marketplace, and secondarily also highlighting increase in medical costs in some of the markets in its Medicaid geographies.
So I know insurers have been really growing worried here, investors as well, about the changes that could happen to the Affordable Care Act. What does this all foreshadow about the broader industry?
Most of the focus recently has been obviously on the overhang from the reconciliation bill. You know, there was some sort of improved visibility going into next year and the year after because of that. But at the same time, Centene's coming out with the guidance sort of put it right in front of us. So first, they're going to have to show stability. Either Centene or other health insurance companies will have to show some sort of stabilizing trends. As a reminder, Centene's guidance withdrawal comes approximately 2 months after United withdrew its guidance, which created a very negative sentiment for the whole group. And now it's the second punch within the same larger health insurers industry. So first thing is stability, and second thing, obviously there's going to be a long-term overhang from whatever reconciliation bill brings to Medicaid cuts overall and just in general uncertainty until provisions are implemented.
All right, so here's Bloomberg News reporting. Centene is the top seller of ACA health plans. The government has been cracking down on inappropriate and fraudulent enrollments in those plans, meaning people who shouldn't have been on them are getting kicked off. Analysts have said that probably means customers who are paying into them but not filing many claims are now exiting. How did the company not know this? They're an insurance company. Their job is to price risk. How did they get so blindsided by this?
It's very difficult to sort of where we are to really fault a company. We're not in the trenches. Obviously, it's their business. They should be able to sort of foresee what's coming up in the next year and how to manage risk. But at the same time, there are so many things from Washington on policy changes, on how sick the patients are, and they manage thousands, if not millions, of people. Some of the things may be overlooked or may not just be presented sort of to be really included in their trend and risk calculations.
So you mentioned United Health, of course, Centene today. So these aren't necessarily isolated, at least that's how the street is viewing it. This is potentially an impact that people could see ricocheting throughout the entire sector?
Yes, so in general, these companies, you know, as I said, Centene is focusing on marketplace and Medicaid. United is just an 800-pound gorilla focusing or has a huge market in all of the health insurance businesses. But that being said, in general, health insurers are trading as it's a commoditized industry, so they all generally trade in the same direction. So if United, for example, I'm not saying they will do, but if United, for example, reinstates its guidance during the second quarter earnings release, it will create a stabilization effect for the whole industry. After that, if someone like United or Elevance, the larger players, show some stability or actually improvement in the operating environment and the results that they report, it will impact the whole industry on the positive. So generally, it's, you know, something wrong with the one company, especially someone as big as United, it impacts everyone else.
All right, so this is a function of the Trump administration cracking down on some of these Affordable Care Act plans. Is that kind of the origination of this?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
But that, you know, Washington overhang, and usually it's a negative overhang, either Republicans are leading in Washington or Democrats. It's always, for health insurance, it's generally a negative wind from Washington. So that is still, Washington cracking on sort of health insurers in general is always in the background.
All right, Glenn, thanks so much for joining us, breaking this down for us. Glen Losev, Senior Healthcare Analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence.